He's real good. He's Tony Mitidiero. He's he look a little pale today. What's something going on?
Well, clients who own a restaurant, they have a tendency to keep you out for a bit.
Restaurants, huh? All right. We have, speaking of restaurants, ideas of, what do we call it? New Year's resolutions. Our first one this year was keeping this down to 8 minutes. You think we could do it today?
I think so.
All right. So this idea of $1 million. You got $1 million? Let me borrow $1 million real quick from me.
It's kind of a breaking point, right?
I think it's a big one, right? It's got 2 commas in it. It's a big, scary number sometimes. But we're starting to see more and more transactions happen at that $1 million plus threshold. I know that you had a social media post about it a couple days ago. You said Illinois transactions were up crazy amount.
18% growth year over year, 24 to 25 in Illinois, and in Indiana, 40% growth. Much smaller number of transactions in Indiana, but so starting from a small number to going to increasing 40%.
All right. So thought a good idea was maybe let's take a town in a town in Illinois, and then we'll talk about that town today. That'll be Frankfort, Illinois, and then finding like a comparable town maybe in Indiana and see what $1 million gets us in both of them.
Excellent.
You think Frankfort and Crown Point? They're
comparable. They're for the regions. They're probably the most comparable thing that we have. So good place to do it.
Hopping downtown, good food scene, bar scene. Quality school,
nice housing stock, diversity of housing stock. So excellent place to look at $1 million plus. And what does it cost you? What does it take to get into it?
All right. So scrubbing through the MLS here in Frankfort right now, see, I don't even want to call it a smattering of houses between $1 million to 1.1 million. You can see about 4,200 to 4,700 square feet.
Yep. 4
to 6 bedrooms.
Yep.
3.5 baths plus. A lot of these, I think, have finished basements too. It seems like.
Yep. And nice houses, 3-car garage, nice lot, nice neighborhood.
I say 3-car garage. Like I think 3-car garage. If I'm looking at that price point, I want 4.
In Indiana, actually, there's more people building it, but yes, and you definitely have to have a 3.
All right. So let's talk about what does that cost, or what does that take to qualify?
So what are we talking about tax bill though range, right?
Yeah.
You got to give us an idea on tax bill.
All right. So let's talk about Will County taxes. It's actually a pretty easy formula to figure out what you can anticipate your taxes to be. So you take your sale price of your home or the cash value of your house. We'll say it's $1 million, right? Multiply that by 33.33%. So at $1 million, that ends up being 333,333. Continuing on. Mrs. Scholing, my 8th grade algebra teacher, would love me on that one. And then Will County, you're going to deduct $8,000 off of that equalized assessed value for homestead deduction. If you're the owner occupied property. So that puts us in that 325 range on net equalized assessed value. When multiply that by a tax rate. The tax rate I found, looking through Abbey Woods, which is a pretty desirable subdivision there in Frankfort, right?
It'd be nice if you could just tell us.
Yeah, I will. All right, here we go. The tax rate there is 7.923%.
Okay.
And the reason we wanted to look at a subdivision there, real estate taxes generally static across towns, school districts, and all of that other stuff. But so just under 8% of that net equalized assessed value works out to about $25,774 a year.
Okay, so $1 million house, $25,000 tax bill.
There we go.
What's it take to get into it? This is what we're looking at today.
All right. So this takes about $292,000 a year in annual income to qualify.
This is with 20% down?
This is less than 20% down. So we're talking about conforming loan limit. I know that you used to originate loans for a while there too. There was a very long time that conforming loan limit was stuck at 417, right?
Yep.
2026 is 832,750.
No way.
Yeah. So conforming loan limit is that threshold where if you go over it, we start to have to get into jumbo loans and some other different types of qualifying.
I didn't know it's gone up that much. Yeah. Okay. So this is how much down?
This is 167,250 down. So like 17% or so.
Okay.
Just so that we get to that exact conforming loan limit.
Perfect.
All right. So then everyone talks about,
it's actually what I did on my house in St. John when I bought it. I went to the max and I told the guy,
want to get right to that threshold.
I'm like, this is what the price has got to be. I'm sorry. It's 20% with this being the max.
Stevie Nicks maybe should have rewrote that song, Living on the Edge of 417. We're way over 417 now.
Okay.
But we got this, like that scary PMI word, right? Because we're not putting 20% down.
Okay.
If you got a 740 credit score in this scenario, take a guess at what your PMI is monthly on 832 grand.
Are you kidding?
Let's take a guess, man. $84.
No way. I would say like $300.
Exactly. It's very, very, very cheap when you get to that
$4.
When you get into that 15 to 19% down threshold. PMI is very cheap.
Yeah.
With a high credit score.
Wow. Okay.
So all right. So that works out. It's 84. The on 6 1/4 at 832 750 is $5,128.
Holy, that's not that bad.
I would agree. Homeowners insurance. This one's maybe a little bit of a tough one to juggle on here. How old is your roof? You anticipate a roof on a 4,500 square foot house going to cost a lot. I just put 200 in there or 2,400 a year. It might end up being closer to 3,600 a year, but that's going to put all in monthly payment there about 7,500, a little bit over that.
Okay.
And then to qualify for that, make about $292,000 a year if you want to stay on the age-old 31% debt to income rate.
Oh,
31% front end ratio.
So that's not even you really like maxing it out.
That is the by the book 31% front end or top end ratio, which is again take your gross monthly income, you divide it out by your you take your total housing expense and divide it by your gross monthly income.
So that's pretty attainable.
Yeah, and here's what's even crazier, right? If we wanted to go out to that 45% back end or bottom end ratio, which is housing expense plus car payments, credit cards, all of that stuff, you could have, if you make $292,000, you could have $3,400 a month in other debt.
Wow.
Guess what that is? That's another house.
I was going to say, so buy two.
Yeah.
Get yourself $1 million house and then get another one.
Yeah. What is that? Get your your bag man or your
or you got a sweet Tesla, right? And then you got a Range Rover. Probably not. I don't know. The payment on a Range Rover is probably not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably about $2,000.
We're getting you a house in Frankfort, sweet house, nice house in Frankfort. The Tesla. And maybe an Escalade.
Escalade probably running about $1,500 a month.
A Tesla and an Escalade.
You're set.
We're getting you a house there, and we're getting you the vacation house. It's not that hard. $293,000 a year it takes to qualify for it. Yep. This is with not even 20% down, right?
Yep.
And pretty manageable payments. You have enough left over in your ratios to get.
To live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether that is a beach house, a lake, a boat, a couple car payments, college, private school.
Now, important though to mention, all right, so this is $293 either on a W-2 or if you're self-employed, that needs to be the bottom line income that we're actually claiming. We're not writing it off beyond that.
Right? In this world, yes, there is a world that we can talk about later on about self-employed qualification and other methods, but you won't be able to secure the best interest rates on those.
The world of another day. So that's what it takes to get into $1 million house in Frankfort.
Would you ever guess 292,000?
No, I think it'd be a lot more, but it's pretty easy now.
And that's it. Tony, if I want to buy $1 million house and I want you to represent me, how do I get in touch with you?
708-259-3734 or just Google up my name.
And you can spell it wrong. And if you need questions about financing or what you qualify for, reach me at 630-284-9729 or click on the applywithjr.com link. We out.
I'm done. Cut the show.